You know what? Let's show it again.
Can you shut up? Thumbnail right there.
Yeah, baby.
I love being right about things, like months in advance. Well, not right. This is what I wanted, though. I want to point this out. This is actually exactly what I wanted.
This is really like, yeah. I mean, it's like you wanted like parasitic dwarfs.
Can I point out, the one on the left looks like a dreadnought.
Yeah. Well, I think it's worth. Right. Let's try and break this down in some regard. First of all, this is obviously the key art that we saw with the goggles that now exposed. I said, it was distorted even beyond that quite a bit. Have you got it on the screen before the thumbnail? Because I think that's the actual key art.
All right, hold on. You're right.
That's going to have everything that we want to talk about here. Basically, let's try and break this down. Obviously, we've kind of seen like the formation that we're looking at here, but I think this is definitely the most vividly and like strikingly we've seen it. Like we've seen those black tendrils, the yellow tubes, but we haven't actually seen the piecing like structure that kind of seems like it's actually the main core of it. If you know what I mean? Like the big, what I can only assume are like, I don't know. I mean, I'd say the little pupos things are probably the eggs, right, for the actual parasites. But those ones, they're like bigger, stronger, like crystalline foundations of the actual like infestation.
It's like it is like the flood, basically, from Halo. Right? You need to understand this. It is because the flood, they're like parasites that infect and add, like you can see the biomass generated on the creatures that infect, but they also have like solid like nests made of that biomass. Like
which makes sense because we know they like Halo as just a fact. We know they play Halo, so we're not surprised that there's some like notes taken. I suppose that's the next step. Enemies. We know that there are, you could see the parasites we saw before. They're chilling on the floor, but clearly they're not the only things we got coming for us. There is a Praetorian that's been infected. You can see like the bottom leftish. He's not happy. I don't think any of them are. I think it'll be interesting to see if the formation, the parasites kind of take them over on are going to be the same on everything, or it's going to be like kind of like there's a amount of presets. Like, are all Praetorians going to have their left like arm with like a bubo on it and like that kind of thing, or are they going to be maybe not random? Just have like a.
It's not a Praetorian. It is a dreadnought. I can tell from the jaw, and it's not green first of all. And I don't know if that's just because of the parasite changing it that much, but those those big like pincer teeth, the Praetorian basically doesn't have them.
Right,
that's a dreadnought feature.
He's quite far away then. He looks quite small. Okay, well that is worth noting then, I guess.
Well, I'm gonna look at the dreadnought now specifically.
Fair enough.
Because I just looked. I'm on the wiki. I just looked at the Praetorian, but I want to look at the dreadnought now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a dreadnought, man. It's a dreadnought.
Okay, well, that has implications. I'm just going to quickly get out the way that there is a grunt there. I don't think he's a slasher.
Not 100% convinced. Not 100%, but that looks like much more like a dreadnought than the Praetorian.
I guess we'll get into that, but yeah, there is also a grunt version. Okay, the grunts are getting affected. They look a bit more dangerous. I don't know about you, but
but it also looks like blisters, basically. Extra weak points.
That's what I think as well. They're probably going to do more damage. maybe be more defended, like more defense, but are gonna have more apparent weak points. I think that could be a thing that I can see them doing, but I'm not sure if it's worth note that it's jumping at the dwarf.
I
I'm not gonna
don't
note it.
think
but-
it is. I think it's just
But-
it's just a visual device, like it's just coming at
it's
you.
It's just cool. But I think let's go back. Dreadnought infestation.
Well, assuming that, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm really bad at being certain about things, but I am looking at a dreadnought as far as I'm concerned.
You into not ever.
No,
being
Tyler,
confident.
I've always been like this.
Right. So, but like only dreadnoughts have those teeth that come out under it. Right. They're the big hooks. That is a dreadnought only feature.
So,
is that what you're saying?
Maybe it's just the wiki pictures not being good. I'm sure if I looked at it in game, it would be a lot more clear. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the Praetorians the Praetorians don't actually have those, and the dreadnoughts do.
Yeah. So that has a couple implications. I'm just going to go for the first one that I think could rationalize it, in that the virus or the parasites have like evolved Praetorians, maybe. So the Praetorians are just kind of bigger and more intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
They're like slightly more evolved. I think that is a way of having them being a normal thing to fight. Then let's kind of go the other way, as in this game mode, which I feel like I could confidently say a game mode if there are dreadnought level enemies on it. There is like a dreadnought, infected dreadnought protecting something. That is game mode worthy.
Well,
right?
it's a good point, because I am sort of unsure of how this will be made. I don't know. I guess made important without it being its own mission. You know.
Yeah.
It looks too much to not be like you'd be forced to deal with this, right? It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, and I think that's why. I mean, these things cannot be in every cave, right? Or at least this thing cannot be in every cave. So I think it just always kind of being there is unlikely. So I think either like a mutator or a game mode is probably what we're looking at. I think is it worth noting the biome that they're in? I mean,
I can't tell what it is.
Yeah, maybe because it's a new one,
or just a generic nothing. Or magma core.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's
they
not
don't
worth.
just
That's
generic
the time.
nothings.
But we're at the point though with the biome where it's not worth speculating about until we just know.
I suppose,
Because
but
we
it's worth
started
noting
off
that
speculating about that. We thought it had been sort of completely flattened as an idea.
Yeah.
But now there's no point really talking about it. I don't think.
Well, because I think there is a chance that this could be a biome. Unlikely, but I don't know.
If it is, it looks like it's just a generic one. That's just where the crash site is. Or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean because I don't know. Point is, I don't know. It's something else to look at. Normally, in the last one we had like the glacial strata. So the fact this is a more generic one and/or magma core without the magma is of note, I think, but it's probably at the bottom of the notes.
Yeah. But okay, so in terms of things we actually have to point it out though. So the new equipment.
I
so
think
the design's obviously changed not much, I guess. I mean, the biggest one is the weird square thing is just green, I guess. but they're both
it might
shooting
just have skins.
They're both yeah, possibly. But they're both shooting blue. Unless one of them sort of just it's blue looking effect and it's sucking in, but the one in the background is shooting at like the mass.
Yeah, that is definitely shooting because we could see it spraying outwards. And I think we already kind of knew that these were going to be cleaning devices, and we already kind of assumed they were going to be cleaning the stuff we saw, and this is the verification of that. 100%. They are, as the devs kind of allude to, they are healing hoxies with this equipment, and like cleaning up this. This.
Are we gonna get zombie dwarfs? No, probably not.
No, but we certainly got like if not zombie, then just like parasited grunts. Just the parasites on their own. I wonder if they're going to be like actually something. Like, I wonder if they're basically going to be like shredders, swarmers, that kind of thing. So they're more tangible than the actual parasites already in the game. Then apparently, yeah, maybe a dreadnought or just an advanced Praetorian, something like that, or maybe just a Praetorian. Who knows? But as far as it seems, they're probably going to be it's probably going to be better than a Praetorian. It's still going to be probably a step up, I would imagine, in like strength. Same with the grunt.
I mean, let's not get too much into discussion, I suppose, because but there is because there's only really one other thing, and it's so. Well, obviously the armor that we're wearing, we know we're getting a new armor set in some capacity here, and we'll know later on, obviously, if it's the DLC.
They basically confirmed that it was the DLC.
Yeah,
set.
I suppose that it does make sense. It's only because it's in the key art, which they haven't done before, and it also feels more like company, issue. Like they would give this to the dwarves. That's the only reason I thought maybe this is a new actual proper set of armor and not the DLC.
They said at least that the DLC, you could guess what the DLC was looking at this, right?
Well, it's either this or like
the parasited armor, which I think nobody will dislike. Like I think we could expect this armor to be the DLC armor, especially since it looks like it's kind of going to be locked in color wise, which is a bit more typical to DLC armor, like the Dawn of the Dread stuff. Like you're forced to have a certain look, and it looks quite DLC with the test tubes like coming out of them, or like
that's the only part that's a little bit different. But I think maybe that's also like not mechanic, but like in universe thing, it helps them breathe, whatever. I don't know.
And not to mention, you like on the Scout, a lot more.
Those goggles.
You can,
they're the goggles, right?
I thought those goggles were like the ones you normally have, but then I realized, oh no, wait, these are so much cooler than that. And yeah, they look pretty cool. But there is a chance that this isn't the DLC, and that we're gonna get like a thing that we could still guess. So yeah, probably an infected armor set.
But it's no point
DLC.
speculating because we're going to find out in a few hours.
Yeah.
But I will say about that, because the DLC reveal will be at 5 p.m. GMT, so that's our time. So you can, you should watch that. You should watch that premiere on this YouTube channel. But what I'll say, last season, we'd seen it kind of in the key art. Right, a little bit like the silhouette, but the Nemesis was shown in full, basically, in the DLC reveal.
Yeah, it was. So we'll see something in the background, maybe. I hope that they have done 2 armor sets, right? And this is going to be a thing.
Be really fucking cool though if they do in the DLC. Right, we got to end because this is very speculative now. So we got to end this now. But if there's like skins, like the DLC skins for the new equipment. It's like, oh, you get skins for these as well. So, oh, that's nice. Anyway.
I think it is worth noting that it would make sense if there was 2 sets, because they would, like DRG would just give you this armor, because this seems, and like obviously canonically you're probably going to be able to wear whatever you want, but this equipment looks like something that they would provide you along with these equipments to take out this threat. So it would make sense if you didn't have to pay for that cosmetically.
So what I can
we'll find out.
Okay, so I'm looking at the thing again. All right. What I can say 100% for certain, it's not a normal Praetorian. Even like beyond the infection, a bit more. So it could be a dreadnought. So it could be.
I mean, I don't want to pull a wild card, but Sentinels.
I think. No, it's not Sentinel. It's
okay.
Not
Do they
Sentinel.
not have the jaws?
The drills?
The jaws.
Well, it's mainly the head, actually. I think it's a bit of both.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not a Sentinel. I think it might be a Dreadnought, and I really want it to be.
I think
honestly, if this is like the main other like enemy types are just infected enemies, then that could be something like a full on Dreadnought infected, or even like an infected Hive Guard in the background of the DLC. That would work.
I think it's worth note that they've only shown 2 types of infected enemies, the grunt and the thing, and then an actual parasite. We may just be looking at those 3. There may be infected variants of all the variants.
Might be Glyphid, might be all Glyph. No, maybe not all Glyphid. I mean, that's the thing, because even all Glyphid seems a bit much, but that's kind of what it should be.
I mean, I'm at least hoping for infected slashers, infected grunt guards.
Well,
at least.
All I'm saying
like,
is probably not exploders.
yeah, no, I doubt the parasites would want to invade an exploder.
Exactly, but like wardens and the other dreadnoughts, I really want to see like that.
Yeah,
You know.
and I think you may want to wrap it up, but there is one thing we haven't talked about.
Oh yeah,
Plaguefall.
oh
is the name.
Well, you know,
of,
what can you say? It's the plague has fallen upon Hoxie from space. It's pretty self-explanatory.
And I'm not sure if this is what you mentioned or noted, but Playful. It's Plaguefall. Playful.
No, that's not what that means. It's it's something like Earthfall or Moonfall.
No, I'm sorry, but it totally is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It is such a play on words. Playful. Playful. It just is. I'm sorry.
What do you actually mean by this? What do you mean? What are you saying?
It's playful. Plagueful. How similar sounding they like. It's like I don't know. The point is, thank you for watching.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I will actually ask them next stream whether or not that was on purpose. I will actually do that and get an answer, because I am almost convinced that Plagueful was that, because it always sounds like playful.
No, I think it's just meant to sound cool. I think it's just...
No, because it doesn't. Because it sounds like playful.
This is just you, Tyler. This is you.
It's not just me.
This is you.
Totally
this is you being you and being weird and having stupid opinions that don't make sense.
Shut up. End the video.
No. Defiance.
Thank you all for watching.
Defiance.
I am right.
Where's your anger?
Comment on the video.